Hello again. Saturday's Golden Jubilee Stakes at the Royal Meeting is Ascot's newest Group 1 race, of course. It was changed a name from the Cork and Orrery before that in 2002 for, appropriate enough, the Queen's Golden Jubilee, and elevated to Group 1 status in that year as well. Let's check out some of the best prices this year. Delegator for Team Godolphin, 11-2 at the time of this recording. Star Witness, who's due to run on Tuesday in the King's Stand for Australia, at 8-1. Bated Breath, Roger Charlton's runner, a 9-1 chance. Certainly a horse that's coming up through the ranks. Lady of the Desert also entered in the King's Stand at 10-1. Elzarm, last year's second in the Coventry Stakes, a 12-1 chance. Let's bring in Gary Nutting, who's our studio guest here. Delegator Gary, we haven't got a film of him winning the Duke of York, but it was interesting that the Godolphin team have brought him back for a sprint-only campaign this season.
Yeah, and a good move in my view. I put this horse up for the Golden Jubilee after York, and I've always liked Guineas horses coming back to sprinting trips. When you think of Ajdal, Habibti, Marwell, usually horses that have just come up short over the Guineas mile. Interestingly, it's 2 years since Delegator ran in the Guineas, but he was the horse that gave C the Stars a race. And his trainer at the time, Brian Meehan, had always, stressed what great speed he had. Yeah. And I think he's found his niche now. This is a chance for him to really shine.
Okay, well, up against him, plenty of opposition, of course. Bated Breath, trained by Roger Charlton, who's won the race before with Harmonic Way, a few years ago now, wasn't it, when it was a Group 2. But I was quite taken with this performance at Windsor, Gary. This is in a listed race. Well,
again, in the anti-post column, this is the other horse I've put up, and like you, I was really impressed with this. This proved to me that the horse is really going places now. They've always thought a lot of him at Roger Charlton's, even before he raced last season. He didn't run at 2, but he started at Pontefract last spring, won his maiden well. Roger has sort of campaigned him fairly quietly, gradually bringing him through the ranks, and just get the impression, having spoken to him over the course of the last year, that he feels this horse is Group 1 material.
Roger loves bringing them along gently, doesn't he? He's a master at training these sprinters
too.
Yeah,
his record with the sprinters speaks for itself, and I spoke to him at the start of this season, before he ran at Doncaster, where he was very unlucky. He just got trapped behind a wall of horses, couldn't get out the whole way. And you just, you pick up on things that trainers say, and he was just talking about this horse having developed into a big bull of a horse. And he wouldn't actually say it, but I just got the impression this is probably the best sprinter at Beckhampton at the moment. And, he's beautifully bred, and sky could be the limit with him.
Okay. Another Roger who's having a great season, Roger Varian, who's taken over from Michael Jarvis, of course, has got a nice horse called Elzarm, who romped home at Newbury last time out, Gary, and he was only beaten by, was it Strong Suit in last year's Coventry. Is he a genuine contender in your eyes?
Well, you'd have to respect him. Obviously, greatly respect the the Michael Jarvis yard, which is now under the care of Roger Varian, who, as everyone knows, has made a terrific start to his training career. That was a sort of small field race in which I don't think he was really tested. He's clearly got the ability. This will be tougher, and there's that that old adage about 3-year-olds up against older horses at this time of year, particularly in sprints. 3-year-old sprinters do find it quite tough. So he's going to have to step forward again, but yeah, you'd have to respect him.
Last year's runner-up Society Rock, of course, who only found Star Spangled Banner too good, interestingly gives us a line to the aforementioned Bated Breath, because Bated Breath beat him at Haydock Park this season. Is that a form line to be taken seriously? This is a good run, wasn't it, 12 months ago?
Yeah, it's not a negative. Whether or not you can take it that seriously, I don't know. But clearly, this plays to Society Rock's strengths. Big field, strong pace. He's sure to be better suited by that than he was in the race against Bated Breath. but equally, you know, I see no reason why Bated Breath won't be suited by it as well.
Okay. Johnny Murtagh was very impressed, I understand, with Bewitched on her reappearance at Leopardstown. Johnny, who's won this race 4 times in the past, noticeably with the Star-Spangled Banner there 12 months ago, Choisir another one. This was a really good performance. She never came off the bridle, the Ballycorus Stakes.
Yeah, she's. I like horses that have a winning habit, and she does win. You know, her strike rate is very impressive. Just looks like she's hanging a bit there.
She was, wasn't she?
Carriage,
just slightly, yeah.
But no doubting her ability, and yeah, as you say, you know, look, she's won that head in chest, really.
Yeah, I wonder whether she needs a bit more cut in the ground.
Possibly,
yeah,
possibly,
as
yeah.
she did when she won there last year, didn't she?
So it'll be interesting to see if this rain that's forecast turns into anything significant.
Let's remind ourselves about some of the best prices available for the Golden Jubilee on the Saturday, the final day of Royal Ascot. Anything on that list there, Gary, that makes some appeal to you? I mean, have we ruled out Marcab too early, perhaps? 16 to 1 shot? You know, Group 1 winner already?
Well, it's, you know, these Group 1 sprints, as the trainers often remark, you know, there doesn't seem to be a great deal of difference between the top handicap sprinters and the Group 1 sprinters, you know, unless you get a year where there is a real standout. So no, a horse like Marcab, of course, you know, a lot's going to depend on the draw and where the pace is, all those variables that will be done to death in the run-up to the race.
Yeah.
But no, I do like, I think Delegator and Bated Breath, for different reasons, have both got the potential to be a lot better than they've already shown over you know, over a sprint trip.